Unbelievable, guys. What a poor and horrific NFC Championship game. Everybody, including myself, expected the Arizona Cardinals to show up, but it was a complete and utter beatdown. They got drilled, they got dabbed, they got drubbed, whatever you want to call it, by Carolina. And I knew that the game would be tougher for the Cardinals to win when Philly Brown caught an 80-yard touchdown. I mean, I don't even think in any level of football that Corey Brown has ever caught that long of a catch. And that's just, you got to give credit to Cam Newton because he's turned Philly Brown, Devin Funchess, Ted Ginn Jr. into really reputable NFL wide receivers. And Jericho Cotchery, he's revived his career, and that's just Cam Newton having the best arm in football. He's the best athlete in terms of escapability at the quarterback position. He's a freak of nature. He's incredible. And his joy on the sidelines is contagious, and you got to congratulate Cam. But unfortunately, watching that game, I knew when Carolina got up 17-0, even when Ted Ginn almost took it to the house, I knew after the Corey Brown touchdown, the game was completely over because Carson Palmer's like a statue back there in the pocket. He can't move. And Carolina's defense, short and other players were just getting inside. And Carson Palmer, he barfed all over himself. He was horrible. But the point is that Carolina's defense, even Carson Palmer, throughout the interceptions, you could see in the second half that Carolina had trouble guarding against the pass in that game. And that's why Tom Brady versus the Carolina Panthers would have been a lot better Super Bowl than this. However, Carolina is just in a different league than the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, Carson Palmer, just horrible performance. If Patrick Peterson didn't fumble the kickoff, if Palmer actually hung in there and didn't turn the football over, this could have been a game. This could have been a 10-point game late in the game. And Carson Palmer, even throughout the fourth quarter, had chances. He just forced the ball in the coverage. He was so erratic and horrible. And watching this game, I was like, dang it, this is going to be a horrible NFC Championship game. And you know what? The Cardinals played horrifically in the game, and the Panthers are a dang good football team. And guess what? If it was Brady versus Carolina, it would be a toss-up. It would be a freaking classic. It would be like last year's game because New England has a pretty good defense, not a great defense, but a good defense that could shut down Jonathan Stewart. And Cam Newton would probably get his. He would get like 28 points. But you know what? Carolina's secondary is not incredible, especially with the injuries you saw tonight. I know Josh Norman's a good player, but they're susceptible to getting thrown on. I mean, you saw Russell Wilson throw on them, Eli, Drew Brees. This team does not have an incredible secondary. That's not the strength of their defense. They play with a lot of momentum. Their linebackers can hit. Thomas Davis got hurt, but Kuechly, Norman, Roman Harper. It's a special defense that they build, but they are susceptible to getting thrown on. And that's why Tom Brady would have waxed this defense, because I believe that Denver has a great secondary and Carolina does not. I believe that Denver's defense is legit. Denver can get home with four guys, and that's why you saw Tom Brady struggle. But I don't think Brady will struggle versus Carolina's defense. However, the statue that Peyton Manning is, he will get swallowed up. This is Seattle, Denver once again. The dude, Peyton Manning's going to be 1-3 in Super Bowls, and Carolina is just going to destroy the Denver Broncos. It's not even going to be close. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, but Denver's defense is fantastic. Well, you know what? New England's defense is okay. Carolina's defense is better than New England. So Peyton Manning, the success he had against New England, which was basically nothing, he's going to have no success in the Super Bowl. None. The way Carolina starts games, it's incredible. They're like a race car. They're going to blow by people. And Cam Newton is going to be able to extend plays. The dude is a freak. Tom Brady's a statue. Cam is not. Cam will extend plays. Ted Ginn will break the game open. And Peyton is going to barf all over himself just like Carson. And he's going to be 1-3 in Super Bowls. So the matchup that we needed as football fans, as people who want to see competitive game, Cam or Carson Palmer versus the Denver defense. If we got Arizona, Denver in the Super Bowl, it would be a classic. It would be like 20-17, maybe 17-14. It would be a low-scoring dogfight of a game. It would be great. But Carolina is going to blow the doors off of the Denver Broncos. It's not even going to be close because Cam is going to have a lot of success. Unlike Tom Brady, he's going to get outside the pocket, escape from Von Miller, escape from DeMarcus Ware. He will do that because he's Cam, because he's electric. He's the most dominant weapon in all of football that turned Ted Ginn into a Pro Bowl caliber player and made Philly Brown catch an 80-yard touchdown in the NFC Championship game. Cam Newton could go down as one of the best ever. He's going to be a Hall of Famer because he's a freak. He's LeBron James playing football. So think about this for a second, guys. If it was Carolina versus New England in the Super Bowl, we would all be treated to another amazing game, just like the one in 2003 in Houston, Delhomme versus Tom Brady, Mushin Muhammad, John Casey kicking it out of bounds, that type of game, because the Patriots can hang with Carolina. Carolina can get beat throwing the football on their defense. You saw that evidenced in my points by Breeze, Manning. Carolina could give up a ton of points, and Brady would pick them apart, and it would be a glorious shootout of a game. But Peyton Manning physically cannot throw the football, and Denver hasn't gone up against a quarterback like Cam. Okay, they faced all the AFC guys like Dalton, McCarron, Alex Smith, and in the playoffs, they've had to face Big Ben, a hobbled Big Ben, and Tom Brady, and both of those quarterbacks cannot break contain. And Cam Newton's an indefensible guy. Denver's D is fantastic. It's just a bad matchup facing Cam Newton. Just with the ability of him to escape the pocket, it's a horrible matchup. So if Denver was going up against Arizona, it would be a competitive game because Denver is all built on defense. If they can't play defense, they're done. They need to play perfect defense to win. And Denver's defense has had 2 Hall of Fame caliber weeks. Whenever Pittsburgh got close to scoring a touchdown, Denver clamped down. Whenever New England had the rock, Denver clamped down because Denver is a great and fantastic unit. However, Peyton Manning in that offense is so incompetent, it's finally going to blow up in their face, and Carolina is just going to destroy Denver. It's not even going to be close. As football fans, we got duped. We got royally screwed. Okay, because if it was New England going up against Carolina, it would be great. And if it was Arizona going up against Denver, it would be great. Even Arizona, New England, great. Any other combination. But this is Seahawks, Denver all over again, as I've illustrated before. Carolina's defensive line is going to get to Peyton, and Peyton cannot hit Carolina's weakness, which is the secondary. I don't care that Carolina picked off Carson Palmer and made him look horrible. Palmer made bad decisions. If you watch the second half of that game, there were opportunities, like when Cam Newton was intercepted in the first half, and also there were opportunities when Patrick Peterson fumbled. Those were 2 huge plays, and then the floodgates were open. Then Arians and Palmer wanted to go to the freaking bus. So that's how I look at it. I think that a blood bank guarantee, throw it in the bank, bet is on Carolina. I think Carolina wins this game by 20 points. The over's at 45. They're going to go way over it. I don't see Cam making unbelievable mistakes for Denver to stay in the game. I think it's a complete mismatch, and Peyton Manning will be 1-3 in Super Bowls. And you know what people are going to say about Peyton Manning? They're going to say he's a choker. 1-3 in Super Bowls. He's not like Brady. He's horrible. He can't compete in the clutch because he's going to get embarrassed by Carolina. But Carolina's a fantastic team. You got to congratulate Cam Newton. Ron Rivera built a very good defense, not a great defense, but a defense that is very, very solid. And Peyton Manning cannot hurt Carolina's secondary. And 1-3 in Super Bowls, he's going to be punished for that on his legacy. You know, people are going to be like, "Oh, Peyton Manning, 1-3, choker, cannot get it done in big moments." Imagine today if imagine if Brady beat Peyton in overtime, right? 23-20. The Patriots beat Denver today to go to the Super Bowl. And then Peyton retired, and we'd all be like, Peyton's a great player. Peyton went 1-2 in Super Bowls. He's fantastic. But say Peyton Manning throws 4 interceptions and they get run out 48-0 and he retires. You know what the narrative on him is going to be in his last game, which will be in 2 Sundays? Peyton Manning was good, but he's not a Cam. He's not a Tom Brady. He's not one of the elites. When all the bright lights are on him, he fails. And that's the narrative that we get in this culture, in this society, where everything is built on the now. Everything is built on what have you done for me lately. You watch Peyton Manning and Twitter and everything. It's just going to be brutal. It's gonna be hard to watch this game, guys. For Peyton Manning, it's going to be sad as NFL fan. Unless you're a Carolina Panther fan, I think that a lot of people are rooting for Peyton because it's his last game, and I think Peyton Manning's a legend, a hard worker. I root for guys like Peyton Manning to succeed. Hard workers, guys who put in time. Cam Newton is another great example of a great player. But Peyton Manning, it's going to be a sad swan song. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be hard to watch. You better have some good drinks because the game's going to be over in a flash. And it's sad that we didn't get a better matchup. It's sad we couldn't get Carolina, New England. It's sad we couldn't have Carson Palmer playing against Denver D instead of Cam Newton. That's it, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Those are my thoughts, and leave some comments and let me hear what you guys think. So Sunday night, and I appreciate you guys hanging with me tonight.